Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is an important element in any editing process. Color correction is going to be so important and something I really expect you to utilize throughout your film. Okay, so go in and select a clip that you want to work on. And the easiest way to access your color correction board is through here. So if we say show color board, it will pop up in our inspector tab immediately. Okay, I'm going to close that out for a second. I'm going to show you a different way. If you go into the effects tab, we also have color correction right here. If I click on this and drag this and put this on top of my clip, I can achieve the same result. I find it's just easier to go into show color board and it's immediate. Okay. Now you can adjust colors to fit your taste and the mood that you are trying to visually convey in your film. I am going to walk you through an adjustment process that gives you a Hollywood style effect in terms of the color grade that I'm going to create in a second. Okay, so first we start with our color and our global editor right here. This is our first one. You'll see it says global. Okay. Click on it and move it all the way to the left side of the middle dividing line. Okay. So we're putting it into the red here. Right? Then move the shadow slider, which is this guy right here. It says shadows to help you identify. Move the shadows slider somewhere into the blue section. Like right here. And also going up into the blue. Okay. Next is our midtones, which we can see here once we have it selected. Move it into the yellow-green area that is over here. So I kind of just play around and see. Now, this is going to look better on some things over other things, but this is a general preset, believe it or not, for a lot of cinematic effects in movies. Okay, our last one that we have here is our highlights. I'm going to move that into the blue-green area as well. I'm going to move it there. Move up a little bit. Okay. All right. Next, you're going to select the saturation tab at the top of the color board and adjust the saturation with each one of these, okay, to your own liking. It's a little duller, that's a little more colorful, that's a little too much, I think. Right? You can also play with these elements, the shadows, the midtones, right? And the highlights. Again, this is probably not the best thing. Sometimes this looks really incredible with outside landscape shots. Okay, so if you have one of them, you're going to see it a lot more apparent than what's happening right here with a bunch of books. But just showing you, okay? And then the last one, the exposure control, is going to depend on if it's in a room, a dark room, shadows, if it's outside in bright sunlight or in a brightly lit room. And again, you can play with these to your taste, depending on what kind of like mood you're trying to achieve with your film. Alright, so. Alright, and then that increases your contrast and gets you kind of a distinguishing mark between lights and darks, which is what we're going for. Now, again, feel free to play with the color correction board in whatever direction you're trying to go with how the mood and the tone of the film is coming across. The cool part is if you make something that you really like, obviously it's only on one click now. You're going to open up this presets drop down and say save preset, and then you can name it whatever you want. Dramatic light. Okay, we'll just call it that for now and hit OK. Alright, so the next time I open it, I scroll down, oh, it's right there, it's at the bottom. Okay, these are also here so that you can click through and find ones that maybe are already made that fit better, and that way when you're going through, if you want a consistent look in your film, which people usually do, depending on what it is, you can put them on each one, right? And these presets are looking far better than what I made. But again, please use the color correction board in whatever way, whether it be your own way or the presets available to correct the color, the saturation, and the exposure throughout your film.